Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And probably one of my most used tools is a bit holding handle. Some of them are magnetic, some of them have a locking mechanism. You know, I love the snap-on ones, but they've got that 1/4 inch drive that not a lot of companies use. I know SATA uses it, and Gear Wrench, or maybe that's the same company. But you have to put some sort of a bit holder into the mechanism, and then you can use, you know, whatever it is you want. Really like them. Got them in, you know, short or stubby, regular length, you know, angled. Here's a Mac that uses 2 magnetic holders on a T-handle. One of my favorites, the PB Swiss, just feels good in the hand. Nice solid magnet. But here's 4 others that each have some of their own advantages and disadvantages. So first of all, this is a Stahlwille, a ratcheting screwdriver basically, or bit holder. It's fixed length. This does not come out. Easy reversible here, similar design, plus the fixed. There's your fixed wobble. That's one of the issues I have. Sometimes you're trying to get a screw just right in that wobble. You know, they're that back drag, if you will. It kind of throws things off, but not super expensive. So if you're interested in getting into a ratcheting bit driver, you know, I like the handle, and put these, there's 2 magic buttons on here. If you push them, this pops out, and there's a little carrier in here that you can get 6 more bits in. These don't go in and out very easily. In fact, they come out a little bit easier than they go in, and this has a direction to it. You can't put it in either way. I wish you could. So you have to line up everything and then snap it in. Pushing one button doesn't do it. You've got to do both in order to get that to release. Anyway, nice little unit, big handle, long reach. So this one here, this is the Hazet, or Hazet. It is a bit holder. I saw these marks here, and I was hoping this thing had Wi-Fi, but it doesn't. Not that I can find anyway. But anyway, it uses this spring-loaded tip, so if you take a bit, you have to slide it up to get the bit in, lock it down. And the locking is great, especially if you've got tight fasteners, because sometimes it'll just yank the bits right out of the end of the magnetic holders. And of course, you can, you know, throw an extension on here, make it whatever length you want. Good grippy handle. This is a kind of a triangle shape here, so you can't really throw a wrench on it as easily. Throw pliers on it if you needed, but that's not really what it's for. So just a good simple handle. I can recommend that. As far as the play though, I'll throw this in. I'm going to do a play thing at the end. There's a little bit there, but not any real back drag to write home about. Next one is this little ESD electrostatic discharge Wera, little tiny guy. Similar one comes in some of the Wera sets. This uses an adapter that actually locks, so I can just put a bit right in and it'll stay, whereas this has it won't go in unless I release it. So more of one more step. I like the small size. That's the benefit of this. You know, big size is great if you can get something larger in there. Look at that. Nice lock up. Almost no back drag whatsoever. Good Wera quality. I like the bright colors. Last one is this Gedore. This is the 676. It's an unusual one. Very light. It's rubberized here, hard plastic here. It's a small handle, as you can see. You know, kind of compare that. You can see I've scaled way down, but it's a little unusual. This is very deep. In fact, I'll stick this down in here. You know, it goes in quite a ways, so you don't want to drop a regular bit in there. In fact, look at the size of this bit, and then when I insert that down in there, look how far in that went. So if I pop that out, you know, it's in quite a ways. So that actually helps if you're using some sort of a bit adapter, and there's kind of a universal size right here. That's the size. So this really holds it solid. I mean, you might mistake this for a fixed screwdriver. So I've got a 1/4 inch socket adapter there. Here's a 1/4 inch hex driver. I mean, that's in there tight. You know, or I can add longer ones. That one's a little bit looser because of the play around here. but it's a more of a specialty tool. They call it a driving handle, quarter hex. So it is designed to have a bit extension put into it, or a long bit here, like this DeWalt here. You are getting some play there, but speaking of play, let's go ahead and load these up with the same bits. That one's in there. And I buy these Milwaukees in bulk. Usually I buy a couple of these boxes. I go through these a lot. And then I dump them all into one because they're like potato chips. There's tons of extra room in them. So I'm going to put the same bit in all of these so you can see what that's like. Again, nice and solid. Very, very little motion there. A little bit more here, a little bit more roll. These are not expensive, but they are, as far as I can tell, fairly solidly built. This, in just that driving, you know, there's some play there. A little bit here. This one really needs that bit holder. Once you put a solid holder in it, how it's designed, there's a little bit side to side, a little bit out here, but holds it well. And then, of course, this guy, you can see there's a little bit of rattle, a little bit back and forth. But overall, good solid choices. Just adding to the bit driving handle stable I've got going. And with that, Doc out.